What's your name, son?
Han.
What? Who are your people?
I don't have people. I'm alone.
Solo.
Genius. Fit for hire.
Hey everyone, got another video for you today. This Star Wars freight train keeps on a rolling and we're gonna roll with it. Apparently, Solo, a Star Wars story actor, Alden Ehrenreich, recently discussed what it would take to bring him back into the Star Wars universe. Let's take a look. Bring this up in courtesy again of the great MSN. Ha ha ha. Says Alden Ehrenreich reveals what it would take for his Han Solo return to Star Wars exclusive. Oh boy, we have an exclusive. There he is, right there with his buddy and cohort, Chewie. Okay. Anyway, Solo, a Star Wars. Here we go again with the blue running into the white. Come on, MSN. Let's be professional here, unlike me. Solo, a Star Wars story, isn't the worst Star Wars movie. Feel free to debate what is in the comments. Yes, please do. Feel free to debate which is the worst Star Wars movie in my comments. I would love to hear what you guys have to think. I think most of us kind of agree, and it ain't this. It ain't Solo. Anyway, but Disney had a much more difficult time getting audiences on board with it than it did with other Star Wars movies. Expanding the canon with Star Wars The Force Awakens worked, and dipping back into the time period of the original saga in Rogue One also worked. But an origin story for Han Solo, one of the most iconic and well-realized characters in all of science fiction, was apparently a step too far. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Disney, you just don't understand. And I will get into that after. But continue on here. Disney even found an actor who looked and talked a lot like vintage Harrison Ford in star Alden Ehrenreich, but people still weren't into it. Kind of little. He resembled a young Harrison Ford, didn't really act like him. We'll get into that too. Anyway, Solo's main issue didn't really have anything to do with the cast or even the story. It was more about the unappealing and unnecessary mythology reveals, like Han's last name being Solo because he's alone, or the Millennium Falcon having a notch in the front because it's supposed to carry a big triangle thing. No, those aren't the problems, the Lucasfilm. There's still some juice in the characters and that period of their lives, which is why Disney has been contemplating a spin-off about Donald Glover's Lando Calrissian for years. But there's actually also still a chance we might see Ehrenreich's Han Solo again someday. What would it take for Alden Ehrenreich to play Han Solo again? Speaking with Collider, Ehrenreich, who recently appeared in Ironheart and Weapons, actually discussed the possibility of putting the black vest back on and playing everyone's favorite stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder once again. Your job as an actor, in a way, is to use the energy that's happening around you, and sometimes that energy involves stress. But characters are under stress. There are very few characters who are just having a ball, so it's contributive sometimes, as long as it's an environment where people feel safe. Oh boy, safe spaces. As for whether he'd play Han Solo again if the call came, Ehrenreich leaves the tiniest crack of the door open to the possibility. It would have to really, really be the right version of it. So he's putting the onus on Disney, rather than sitting by the phone with his boots on and his hair feathered, which is the healthier position to take. Playing Han Solo after Harrison Ford was a thankless job, true that, and it was always going to be impossible to please everyone, also true. But nostalgia is so powerful that fans are constantly coming back around on things they disliked when they were first released. Just look at the reappraisal of the older Fantastic Four movies or the excitement for the return of Jennifer Garner's Elektra in Deadpool and Wolverine. Disney's current run of Star Wars stories take place almost exclusively in the post-Return of the Jedi, pre-The Force Awakens period. But you can pretty much guarantee that fans would get at least a little hyped if Ehrenreich's Han Solo showed up somewhere. It would be easy for him to appear in the second season of Obi-Wan Kenobi, provided it didn't muck up the established timeline there. Well, there we go. Timeline of the original Star Wars movie. But the first season of the show wasn't too concerned about that. True. Disney's not too concerned about that. Whoever Disney does it, Aaron Reich is at least hypothetically interested, assuming it's all worth it. So, okay, there's the article. Now, going back to, first off, Alden Ehrenreich was a decent choice. I didn't hate him. So talking about whether he was good or whether he wasn't. Now, I went into the movie knowing that no one could play Harrison Ford the way Harrison Ford does. So I just disconnected myself from that. So I didn't compare him to Harrison Ford. I was just trying to look at his portrayal as a young Han Solo by this guy who I didn't even know at the time. So I didn't hate the movie for that reason. I also went into the movie hopeful because, again, going back to The Last Jedi, this movie, Solo, A Star Wars Story, was the movie that immediately followed The Last Jedi. So Disney Lucasfilm, if you're listening, the problem is not really with the movie Solo itself. The problem was it was kind of boycotted in protest of The Last Jedi because we all got suckered in to go watch The Last Jedi because, in all honesty, The Force Awakens was okay. Rogue One was fantastic. So we were expecting more greatness. That's why sales were up, ticket sales were up, and so many people went to see it. Not because it was a great movie, like you're painting it. You tout the numbers and everything, but see, we were all fooled into going to see it. So in protest, most people did not go to see the following movie, which was this one. And people didn't go really to see The Rise of Skywalker either. And for some reason, you won't tie Solo in because in your mind, it's a separate story from the Skywalker saga. It's still a Star Wars movie, and it was people boycotted it in protest to The Last Jedi. So it's not even really that Solo is that bad of a movie. It's not a great movie by any means. There are major flaws. One thing that would make the movie better, in my opinion, is that droid, okay? The Phoebe Waller-Bridge droid. One of the most annoying characters in Star Wars history. I get it. An annoying droid can be loved. Look at C-3PO. But the annoying that Phoebe Waller-Bridge brought to that character, all that feminism sort of thing, and I don't know, it wasn't done right. So we take her out of the movie, it would be a much better movie. One praise that I will sing for Solo, A Star Wars movie, is Donald Glover. His portrayal of Lando Calrissian was spot on. I don't think anyone else could have played a young Lando better. Now, if we're going to get into the pansexual topic, okay, no, I don't agree with that. But like I said earlier here, if we take the Phoebe Waller-Bridge droid out of the equation, okay, we necessarily wouldn't have that whole scenario there. So Solo, A Star Wars Story, in my opinion, isn't the worst Star Wars movie. Isn't the best, but it isn't the worst. And I even don't mind Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo, and I wouldn't mind seeing him again. If we can correct some of the things that were wrong with the original Solo, A Star Wars movie, I would love to see him again. And Jonas Suotamo was trained by Peter Mayhew to play Chewbacca. So I have no problem with either of these two characters showing up again. It just has to be done right. So what do you all think? You guys on board to see Alden again? You want to see some more Han Solo again? Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. That's it for today, I guess, folks. You know what to do. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Why take it easy when you can take it, as the Italians say, sliazzi?
Exit light, pursue night, grasp your prey, hold on tight. Dreamless peace is what you get.